All right, can you guys hear me? I see a couple of people are on. Just making sure you guys can hear me before I get started. All right, so it looked like most of you guys started doing the Earth Science reference table review questions right before class started, I guess, at 12. What's going on, Zach? Nice name. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to go over the review questions really quick. So the bedrock at Ithaca was formed during what period? So basically all you had to do was, or hopefully, you got to look at your reference table, right? Page 3 and 4. And you have to find where Ithaca is, which is over here. Okay. And then you just got to use the key and read it. And that's going to give you the Devonian era. Okay. Which landscape is Ithaca a part of? So you just have to jump from one page to the other. So if you know it's over here, you're going to go here, and it's going to be the plateau, which is choice 3. Okay. All right. What's going on, Pony Boy? All right. Long Island is made of mostly what type of rock? So since we know that Long Island was formed by glaciers, it's going to be sedimentary rocks. The bedrock under Syracuse was formed during which period? So again, we just had to find where Syracuse is. I tried to give you guys cities that were like right in the middle. Isn't that where the State Gold's from? Pony Boy, Outsiders? Or am I mixing my books up? All right, so Syracuse is up the top, okay? And then we're going to say that it's the lowlands, all right? So basically this whole homework assignment was just, finding places on the map. The bedrock under Central Islip was formed during what period? So hopefully we all know where Central Islip is. It's on an island somewhere over here, okay? And that was going to give you the Cretaceous period, which is, very recently in time. I haven't read the book in a while. I take it back then. Let's see. Which landform is Central Islip a part of? And you're going to go up to, since we know where Long Island is, we go and it's the Atlantic coastal plain. Okay. So that's going to be big. I'm also going to send these back, so you guys are going to get the answers if I go over them a little too fast. Okay. Oswego is located in which landscape region? So again, you just have to flip to page 3. You find Oswego, which is all the way up at the top, okay, by Lake Ontario. And then it's also going to be the lowlands, okay? And then the last one, this one was a little tricky. It says, what type of rock would you find in the bedrock at Old Forge? So again, you have to go to page 3. All right. You find Old Forge, which is over here. And then you have to actually use this key. And you find that it's actually made out of gneisses, quartzites, and marble, which is going to be choice 4. Okay. So if you guys actually go to page 3, all right, it has not only the periods and the eons, but it also gives you the description what type of bedrock and what is in the bedrock that it will be formed. So that's why at the end of it, I said use the key on page 3. Okay. And then it will even tell you like where Long Island is. We're basically made of sand, clay, and gravels, which would make sense because that's what pushed over most of our stuff in sediment from the glacier that came down from Canada and Connecticut and Massachusetts. Okay. Does anyone have any questions on the homework or anything else on Google Classroom before I get to the next thing I just want to go over? Okay. All right, so I put two things up online on the Google Classroom. Basically, these could be counted as labs, all right, since we still have to kind of do labs. I found labs that you don't need any resources, all right? You don't need any, even a ruler for making graphs. Basically, it just goes hand in hand. So the first one that I put up was the glaciers, okay? It's a little bit of reading, all right? And then it just goes with a bunch of questions. And I also posted the glacier. Zach, I actually don't know yet. As soon as I find out about that, I will let you know. All right. But for right now, it's happening until until you see it on the news or I tell you otherwise. All right. So we're just gonna do the best we can. Okay. So again, I'm putting two labs on. I put one on already, and I believe I put the other one on. I'm gonna check really quick. But make sure when you're looking at the graphs, it kind of tells you which way the glacier was going. Okay. It also, a lot of the stuff is actually in the reading. But if you want to, I also uploaded the glacial notes with it. Okay. I know the New York State tests have been canceled, but they haven't said anything about the regions yet. At least from what I heard yesterday from some people I was talking to. All right. I just don't want to say anything and then get myself or you guys in trouble. All right. So that's the first one. Okay. And then even it has one from Lyle and it shows the Ronkonkoma in the Harbor Hill Moraine, which is on the North Shore. And then Ronkonkoma is basically going through the town of Ronkonkoma. Okay. The next thing I got that I'm going to post up is landscapes and drainage patterns. So since we've been basically talking about streams for the last 2 weeks before all this happened, I'm going to post this up. There's another one where it has more of the reading instead of the actual lab part. But then at the end, it has a couple of questions where, basically what we just did for your homework assignment on page 3 and 4 or 2 and 3. You're just going to be looking up everything and going from there. So it says the type of bedrock, type of plain it is, if it's a plateau or a lowlands or a peninsula, right? But there'd be no peninsulas because we're on in New York State, okay? And the type of bedrock. So the reason why we did that homework is just to get you guys familiar with that question, all right? And then there's some multiple choice that also goes with it. That is just like off of our homework that we just did, okay? Again, I know it looks like a lot, so I'm not going to be posting anything today except for a couple of videos that I think are going to help you guys out. I'll give you guys a little bit of time. Again, I know that some of you might not have printers at home, so if you can, I would just write down the answers, and then if we ever get back in the school, I will give you a hard copy, and I will give you time to write down your answers. Trying to think what else I want to hit on. Next week, we're going to start weather finally. There's going to be more videos for that because, again, we're kind of separated right now. But does anyone have any questions on the 2 labs that I'm going to assign? And again, it's all, just try to have it done whenever we get back. But don't wait till the last minute. And then if you have any questions, definitely send me an email or even the remind. You can send screenshots of answers, yes. And I also set it up in a way, if you know how to actually edit it on the Google document, we can go from there. So that when I get back into the school, I can print it out over there. Yeah, so I'm going to give the thing. You can do that. It's up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with. Does anyone else have any questions? Yep, I agree. I miss school too. or at least doing something with my day. All right, seems like no one's got any questions. So we'll meet again on Friday at 1. Put a couple of videos up for then, and then any questions once you guys start looking at the labs, we'll go over some of them. Sounds good? All right. All right, so before I sign off, does anyone have any questions or concerns? All right, seems like that's it. Okay, so Friday at 1 o'clock, there's going to be 2 labs up. You know, take your time doing them, but definitely come in on Friday and have questions if you get to a question that you're not sure. Okay. All right, I'll see you guys later.